I'm here today to visit Rudy, a 16-month-old dog who is the pride and joy of Papa Peter and Mama Sarah. Their lives revolve around looking after their four-legged friend. Right now it's bath time. It's not much fun for Rudy. The little fellow's afraid of water. I ask Sarah what kind of product she's using. She tells me it's a special shampoo for dogs with white fur, one that's good for their skin. I ask if it gives him a lovely white coat, and she says she doesn't know how it works, but it makes his hair nice and glossy. Rudy's breed doesn't always have so much fur. He's a Chinese crested, which is often hairless. For Sarah and Peter, it was love at first sight. Watching the whole process, I can't help but think it's easier when I give my 2-year-old son a bath. The couple are so besotted with their little dog that it seems like he's got them wrapped around his little paw. Peter reads me a quote from a book. He says a dog can show more emotion with a wag of its tail than some people do in a long conversation. Wherever this puppy love comes from, it doesn't come cheap. My research shows dogs cost German owners a lot of money. 1.8 billion euros gets spent every year on dog food alone. And of course, for some owners, their pet needs to wear more than just a natural coat. And just to make sure a dog's life doesn't get boring, in cities like Berlin, there are plenty of activities to keep them busy. Today, it's Sherlock Dog in the Woods. Together, master and hound have to solve a pretend murder. They're supposed to hunt for clues, although sometimes they get a bit distracted. Organizer Melanie gets them on their way. It's all about teamwork. The owners put the clues together, like this student ID. And their assistants lead the chase.
Wir laufen diesen Weg entlang bis zur Kreuzung und schicken unseren Hund dann alleine wieder hierher zurück.
Rudy and Sarah are joining in, although Rudy doesn't seem too interested in solving crimes.
Nein, warte. Nein.
According to Sarah, Rudy gets sidetracked very easily, compared to her at least.
Hier, ein Blatt. Oh Gott, nein, es juckt mich. So, es geht halt die ganze Zeit so.
While the rest are busy trying to solve a murder, Rudy's making himself the center of attention.
Hey, Rudi, komm mal her. Rudi, komm mal ran. Komm mal hierher. Komm mal her.
This isn't how it's supposed to go, but Melanie isn't too worried as long as he's enjoying himself. She says that dogs today aren't put to work, and because of that, they're not properly engaged. She feels it's important for dogs to be kept busy, and that's why she organizes these events. I don't have a dog. A partner and child are enough for me. I find the dogs in the park annoying at times, and sometimes downright irritating. And as there are 150,000 canines in Berlin, that means dogs are a constant problem for me. Because they're not all soft and cuddly like these little ones. I've come to meet the Schubert family. They live in a suburb close to a lake. It's perfect for their 3-year-old daughter, Juna. At least it was until 6 months ago.
Da haben wir hier gesessen.
Carola tells me they were sitting at this bench when it happened. Yuna's father asks his daughter to tell me the story. She says a dog came over and bit her. She was stroking it and giving it a cuddle, but then the dog suddenly attacked her. Her father shows us exactly where she was bitten, on the side of her face. The wound has not healed well. It's been a terrible experience for the little girl. I asked whether they could see the owner, but Carola says the animal was running around on its own. The incident has made her wonder whether the relationship people have with dogs is a good one. She says that dogs would never decide to live in a city. Dog owners make the decision to keep them there. They don't get to choose. I don't think a dog would ever decide to live in a flat. Carola thinks that whereas cats are independent, dogs take after their owners when it comes to being placid or aggressive. Some people think potential owners should need to pass a test to prove that they can control their pets. It might not be a bad idea. In fact, suggestions like these are already being discussed in Berlin due to the huge problems caused by dogs. A new dog law could be brought in, and politicians want people to take part in shaping it. This is Sabina. She says it's an emotional issue. She says that a dog really can be man's best friend. For some people, they act as a replacement for a family or child, and for elderly people, they're a social institution. She says that when dogs live with people, it's important that they feel accepted. But she also says that dogs can cause fear just by the way they look. Carola Schubert is here too, and quickly realizes that the people in the room are generally dog lovers. They want to make sure their pets have plenty of freedom. But I also want the feeling that my child has the freedom to run around, she says. The impression I get is that there is more love here for animals than for fellow human beings. Of course, dogs don't have to be like their owners. Even Chinese crestids have to be trained sometimes.
Das ist Rudy. Wir haben ein kleines Bell- und Pöbelproblem.
Sarah tells the trainer that Rudy can be disobedient, and she doesn't know what to do. The mischief maker thinks he's in charge. Sarah's worried he's ignoring her. But the trainer can see the cause of the problem right away. Rudy and Sarah don't make eye contact. A new accessory is intended to help. Monica explains that when Rudy hears the noise, he knows he's done something good and he'll get a treat. In the first training session, Rudy only gets a treat when he looks up at Sarah. That means he has to do what she wants. It's working, and it's made me realize what puts me off getting a dog myself. They always need someone to look up to. Then things get a bit more exciting. Trainer Monica brings her dog in. Of course, he's very well behaved. And as expected, Rudy hasn't quite got the hang of it yet.
Good. Natürlich kann man nicht erwarten.
She says you can't expect everything to be going perfectly after just 1 hour of training. You have to work on it. And that's the good thing, that work is part of her friendship with her dog. Obviously, there are some owners whose commitments get in the way of caring for their dogs. For those people, the Paws Hotel is perfect. The dogs get taken out to the country while their owners are at work.
Rick, der freut sich schon, ne? Guck mal, wer da ist.
I'm keeping my distance here. I find Rottweilers especially scary.
Alles schön, ich hab den Rick jetzt gebracht.
It costs 20 euros a day, twice as much as someone on social welfare gets. The dog's owner, Margita Hein, says she finds it reassuring to know her pet is being looked after. After a 45-minute drive out of town, Rick's out in the fresh air. So I take a look at the Paws Hotel. It seems like they've got everything here, even an aqua fitness pool. I'd book a room myself if it wasn't just for dogs. Today, Nemo, a 9-year-old Labrador, is having a checkup. The physiotherapist says he's got problems in some of his joints, including arthritis. While Rick the Rottweiler enjoys himself outside, Nemo is taken for acupuncture and a massage. I can't decide whether it's love or madness, but Nemo's owner thinks that if you decide to get a dog, it's a lifelong commitment. I go back to see Rudy, Peter, and Sarah. I keep thinking the same thing, that I wouldn't have all this time and patience to look after a dog the way they look after Rudy. And come to think of it, I wouldn't want to either.
Rudi hat ja auch sein eigenes.
Sarah shows me Rudy's very own Facebook profile. She also tells me where Rudy got his name from. In this picture, it's easy to see the likeness to German soccer legend Rudi Völler. Rudy has 21 friends on Facebook, and Sarah puts up all her latest pictures of the pooch.
Igitt.
Even this one, where the poor guy's all wet. Sarah says many people have asked her whether Rudy might one day have his own puppies. Lots of people see his pictures and imagine having their own Rudy at home. A little one, like him.
Rudi zu Hause zu haben. So einen kleinen. Rudi Platz? So, warte.
It's raining out, so Sarah gets Rudy to do some indoor activities instead. It's supposed to help his concentration and strengthen the bond between the two of them.
Gut gemacht. Natürlich ersetzen wir nicht.
Rudy isn't a replacement for a child, says Sarah, but yes, it's a bit like that. I suppose if you haven't had children yet, then you could see it as sort of a practice run. Right, Peter?
Peter, was sagst du dazu?
Ja.
If that's the case, Rudy might eventually have to deal with some competition.